Hey, thanks, Josie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our TV show tonight. It's holiday season, and you know what? We want all kids to be joyful. So our show this evening is about parental alienation. This show is designed to educate the world on how we should make our children happy. My special guest tonight is my sister, Barbara. Hi, Barbara, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Great, and welcome to the show. And our show, and Curtis is the main character of the show. How about that? How are you?
Yeah, I'm blessed.
Good.
And hopefully I can be an inspiration to somebody out there who's going through a whole lot of drama
Yes.
with their children and
Right.
the effects and the abuse that it have on kids. So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you bringing me onto the show and Miss Barbara.
Yes.
So
And I'm very thankful. And so today we're going to start off by talking about children that are alienated from their parents. You know, it really shouldn't be. My sister Barbara here is a teacher. And you know what? Normally a teacher can tell. Is that true, Barbara? You can tell when a kid comes in your class if they have both parents or not. Can you give me a little insight on what you feel about children that you've taught over the years? How long have you taught, Barbara?
I've taught 31 years
Wow. 31 years.
in the educational system.
Are you serious?
Yes, I have.
Well, I'm saying, are you serious? I should know, I'm your sister. But I mean, I'm just so grateful and thankful to have someone that really can direct people in the right way when it comes to education of a kid or a kid's mental stability, how a kid should be, and how their parents should treat them. So can you elaborate a little bit about some of the experiences that you've had on noticing if the kid had both of their parents or not?
Yes, well, the experience I've had noticing the students' behavior, some of them come feeling low and showing some form of dismay as if they were thinking about something else other than coming to class to be educated. Sometimes they would come in and you would speak to them and say hello, and they wouldn't say anything. They would hold their little heads down.
Wow.
And then I would just go ahead and lift them up and tell them, oh, this is going to be a great day. Or I tell them, it's so good to see you. Good morning. You know, just something encouraging to have the students to feel better about themselves.
From a teacher's point of view. And you know what? That should start at home.
I want to say something. Okay, so this is based around abuse. So in other words, you can kind of spot a kid who seem to have some type of similarity.
Yes.
In other words, you know, by the action, they don't behave well in school.
Right, that's what she's
And
saying.
they just act like something is
Missing
in their life.
And that's one of the
So you're saying
parents.
that's pretty much a sign of some type of dysfunction in the family.
Yes, I like to keep things upbeat because I wouldn't want the audience to think that this is a show about something that's depressing. But now it does mean that sometimes when the parent is not there, the child can feel alienated, also be alienated from their parent. So that's two different things when they feel alienated opposed to being alienated. Because oftentimes if the parent is still at home, they can feel alienated by not getting the attention, not getting the love that they need. So it has a significance value on both sides. Feeling alienated and being alienated.
Oh, wow. So do you think if they feel alienated with that parent at home that it's stronger when they know they have a parent but the other parent is keeping them from them?
Yes, if the other parent is keeping them from the natural parent, then that brings a cause to be concerned, and that also goes into the system of the courts, and the court system would assign the child to the parent within the means of accepting this as being a rule. The parent and the child should be together. The natural parent and the child should be together for the nurturing and for the love, the stability, and growing together as a whole family unit,
Right.
which comes natural love for the child and the parent to be together because they are one blood
Right.
and they
So
are
in
the
other
same.
words, both parents, in other words, the father and the mother. Say for instance, like in my situation,
Okay.
my baby mother alienated my kid away from me
Okay.
for 12 years. Okay.
Wow.
I know this has an effect on my kid.
Definitely.
This is considered as abuse.
Definitely.
And the same thing with myself. I feel like I have been abused for 12 years.
Right. Exactly.
Mentally abused.
Right.
And this have a great effect on kids.
That's
I
right.
learned how to cope and deal with the abuse. But it's a lot of people out there who just don't know how to deal with it. I mean, like,
And especially a child.
I look at what's the name?
Oh, the
You know,
child.
the what's the name? China, Black China.
Oh, Black China with her
I look at
mom.
Black China with the mom. She's
Right.
alienating her grandkids away from her.
Right.
That's a whole new story.
Yeah, that's
but
a whole new story, but there's still children involved, which is what we are here to talk about
in
today.
other words, see, people can't seem to work out their difference, so they always, you know, like break the kids down. It's
Right.
really the kids who suffers the most, and that's the point right there where
That
I
we're
just can't
trying to-
understand.
Right.
Why is it can't people
Both
just
parents.
come together, both parents, and let that kid have a love between the father
That's
and
true.
the mother, or the grandmother, or the grandfather,
Right.
and just put all that difference aside, and
Aside.
stop using the kid
As a pawn.
as a pawn.
That's what we were talking about. Kids are used as a pawn. So now, Barbara, you being an educator for 31 years, do you feel that that child know that they're being affected when one parent is keeping them from the other? Because, you know, we had both our parents. And even we had the love from both. Because our parents taught us to, you know, not go against the mother or the father. So we were well-rounded. So do you think that keeps their kids from being well-rounded? Do you think that kid is aware of what's really going on?
Yes, the child really knows because they go on instinct
Okay.
on how they feel about being separated from the parent because they know that something is missing.
Right.
Even if they're with another parent
Uh-huh.
who is co-parenting,
Mhm.
then they feel the difference. They know when it's a real parent
Uh-huh.
and they know it opposed to being a different parent.
Yeah.
So yes, that is
Okay.
true.
That child does feel alienated from the other father. Now, do you think they feel that way because the child was born and a baby when it was taken away from the father? An adopted grandmother actually adopted this girl, and for money they kept this baby away from
Like in my
his
situation.
situation. Yeah, same thing.
In
That's
other
what I'm
words, the
saying.
adopted grandmother, she
She's not no
alienated
blood kin at all.
my kid away from me as a father, and she runs and hides and she collects child support. And to me, that should be considered as a crime.
Abuse.
You know, and abuse, because why would you keep a kid away from the other parent and you're collecting money and you're running and hiding
Right.
and you're abusing that kid? It's the kid who is suffering the most.
Yes, correct.
And that's what I can't understand, but yet and still they claim to be, well, it's mother and it's grandmother, but the kid is suffering.
The poor kid is suffering. So, Barbara, do you think the kid probably need therapy? Many times kids have to have therapy because they know there's another side missing. I mean, you have to be well-rounded in life, and when you know you were created by a father and a mother. So when this kid goes to school and see all these other children, that can make a kid feel really bad. So what do you think? Therapy comes in, or what do you think? The school should help the kid, or you know, what do you think if a kid is in this situation where they want to see their father, they've never seen their father because his adopted
and
grandmother
check this out.
brainwashed them
And the adopted grandmother, in my case, she's running and hiding. In other words,
to keep the baby
she
away?
runs from location to location to run and hide to keep getting the money. Safety, and she knows that I'm in Texas and she's in California running
Right.
and hiding and collecting all this money. What kind of effect would you say that would have on a kid when someone does that to a kid? I mean,
Yeah.
to a parent, the other parent.
The other parent and also the kid. The first question I was asking you was about the therapy for the child. Do you think that child need to, a school should get involved if the child really wants to see the father, do you think they should go to the principal and say, I'd love to see my dad, I'm in this situation and my dad really loves me. I know he do because he's always making videos. He tells me he loves me and I really want to see him, but they won't let me. So what do you think in that case?
First of all, the parent or the teacher recognize this form of behavior, and if it's happening in more than one class, then the teacher would refer the student to a counselor.
Okay.
And the counselor would get to the bottom of why this child is not responding in class, and is, of course, sometimes can be difficult to deal with.
Right.
And then from the standpoint of if that parent is not using money to get that child out of the lives of that grandparent, that means that that's a form of a crime, and it should be handled.
Yeah.
And it should be handled in the courts, and the courts will then justify this wrongdoing. And as far as the getting the money, that is definitely a crime, because the grandparent should not be handling the child and the money that comes into play with this child.
Okay.
In other words, they're using the kid as a pawn for money, and
Right.
then abusing the kid at the same time, and
Right.
keeping this kid away
Right.
from the
Right.
other parent.
Well, right, Barbara. The situation is that the adopted grandmother has brainwashed the daughter. That's why the daughter won't step up for the child.
Right.
Because it's not her blood, so she don't care anyway. That adopted lady don't care as long as she's getting the money in the house.
Right.
The money from the daughter, the money from the kid, and keeping her away from the father because she know that father can come and take that kid. So the running and hiding, that's abuse to a child. I think that is just horrific. That is the worst situation that anybody can. Anybody abuse a kid like that, one day they will pay for that in God's eye. That's just terrible.
And I want to say to the world that this is a true story.
Yes,
this is
it
my
is.
true story.
It
So
is.
I'm just gonna talk about my true story to the world.
Yes.
And everything is really based around the true story, and then
Right.
about kids who have been alienated
From their parents.
From parents.
Yes, and you're not the only person now. I've seen this happen online, and I'm quite sure you have also, because other people have responded to you, that also has happened to them. Where these kids are out here in the world, they didn't ask to come here. They
Right.
want both parents, like we had both parents, like you had both parents. They want both parents so they can feel well rounded. Because what kind of people would do that to a child, and this child goes to school and see other kids with their parents?
And you're more happy when you got both parents.
Exactly, you're very
Well,
happy.
bottom line is, it's about the money. It's
Correct.
like they don't care about the child and the child's needs. All they want is to benefit from that child, because that child has received benefits from,
Right.
even
parent.
just being a child. From being a child,
Right.
that child is due benefits.
Yes.
So
And that child needs that other parent in the life. And so many fathers just run away. They run away. They don't care. A lot of fathers don't even want to even
Because
pursue
they
anything.
can't deal with the pain and the suffering,
Right.
and they get tired. In other words, they deal with it for 4 or 5 years,
And they let it
just
go.
get abused so much.
And they let it go.
And guess what? This adopted grandmother, she put a false restraining order against me. She put a hit out on me.
Wow.
All of this stuff was going on out in California.
To make the child feel like the father is a bad person.
And
for
then
the
what
money.
they do is they tell a lot of bad stories against the father to make that kid think the worst about the father, so the kid would say, now it's okay not to respect this father. Now it's okay not to have anything to do with it, because now this grandparent over here who's acting as a father and a mother and a grandparent,
Right.
she has created this, what they call it, illusion in this child's mind.
Right.
So this child
That's
says, okay,
called-
that father is a bad guy now.
That's called
My
brainwashing.
grandmother said, oh, he's a bad guy, so you shouldn't have nothing to do with him.
That's
My
brainwashing.
thing is brainwashing.
That's brainwashing.
And,
That's what that's called.
Planting some type of hallucination in the kid's mind
Right. Ever since
to
the kid.
manipulate the kid.
Exactly. Well, anytime a kid is freshly born and they don't know anything else, whatever they're taught, right, Barbara? You can tell when your kids come to class what their parents taught them.
Oh yeah, there's a respect that when they are taught well They are very respectful. They say yes, ma'am. They say no, ma'am. They say
Right.
thank you.
Right.
And you can tell this is from the parents' training.
Yes.
But if they come in and they are being disruptive and they're not respectful, then you can indicate that that is something that's really going wrong in that child's life.
Right.
Because the role model comes from the parent.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so in regards to the grandmother trying to be the mother and the father,
That's
it never works because
No.
that father plays a big role in that child's
and
life.
especially a little girl. We were so happy to have our father, right, Barbara?
That we were.
So it is a difference when you have your pure blood father.
Father,
Yes.
that
And
man.
someone pretending to be
The
the
man.
father.
Yes.
Say like you got a adopted grandmother here pretending to be the mother, the father, and the grandmother. She ain't no blood, no kin, no nothing.
That is
So that's a good point.
that's all fake.
Barbara made up.
Yes, Barbara.
You know,
Yeah, that was a very good point because we had our daddy and everything. Many people even say, "Oh, my daddy taught me this. Oh, my daddy taught me that." And our daddy, you know, he would screen guys. We couldn't even go out with a guy, remember?
Yes.
And that's that role, isn't it, Barbara, that a man has in a little girl's life?
Right, exactly.
Because we couldn't even go out unless he made sure that this guy better know that there is a man in the background.
and it is a difference.
And his
when-
name was Scott Johnson.
And it is a difference when a father's in a child's life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Definitely,
just
that's
like
what
with
we
my
saying.
daughter, even though they keeping her away from her father,
Right.
but she's still thinking about her father.
Correct.
But they are mentally abusing her so bad.
Yes.
They're using her as a pawn and all this hallucination and all that kind of stuff to brainwash her.
Brainwash her and thinking you're going to run away and you're not.
Right, and they plant that seed in her mind that
Yes.
father's a bad guy.
But that child
So
is going
you
to
don't
grow
need to deal with him.
Right, but that child is going to grow up one day, and that child, well, the child already know because when you're 12 years old, you know a lot of stuff. These kids now are smart, aren't they, Barbara, at 12?
They are.
When do they start really, since you've been teaching for 31 years, well, you're retired now, I know you said thank God, but when did you notice that a kid catches on and they really know what's going on? What age group was that? Elementary, or was that?
Well,
When did you?
at every age, the child can indicate and learn from a perspective that they are interested. You have to do something to draw that child's interest, and then the light bulb goes off.
Oh.
You see them behaving better. You see them responding better, and you see them growing right before your eyes.
Wow.
They just are wonderful
Happy.
people, and they're happy to deal. They're wonderful people, and it makes it easier for you to teach when they're all in harmony. This gives
With their parents.
when they're in
Whether the
harmony
parents are
with their-
together or not, but if they are a co-parenting also.
Right.
Whether love is from both.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Wow.
And my heart goes out to any of the children that's being mentally abused,
Right.
because it will carry along throughout their life.
It sure
And
will.
it will make a difference in how they respond to life in itself.
Yes, and that's a shame for someone to rob a child of that.
So
Isn't
in
that
other words, that
terrible?
could be like a lifetime of abuse.
Lifelong.
Yes, it
That's
can.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
because it's a scar already embedded in your daughter's
And
mind.
you mentioned
From
counseling. Counseling is something that they may have to deal with for the rest of their life.
Right.
Knowing that there's a missing part, knowing
For
that there are
years.
questions that are unanswered.
Right.
And
A void
they
that
need
that
those
hasn't been filled.
questions answered. They need to know, where is my parent? Who is my parent? Why isn't my parent in my life? These are questions that
Why
the
did you do this to me?
And
Because
then,
I
and
see
then
that
see
he
like
doesn't.
with my daughter, I know she's asking her mother, why are you all not letting me speak to my father?
Right.
Why?
What would you say about that? And how would a little girl feel about that and they constantly telling her all these lies, excuses, and still not letting her see or talk to her father and running and hiding? What kind of effect do you think that have on a little girl?
That would be, I hate to say the word negative, because this show is about positivity,
Right.
but
Helping
it
people.
is about reality,
Reality.
though. This
Yes.
is the reality that little girls really need their fathers,
Yes.
because they need their fathers to go with them on school days when the
Yes.
father and the daughter comes together,
Yeah.
and they make a good showing in school, and the little girl can be very, very responsive and proud that their parents are there to visit them.
Right.
And so those things that are missing with
Right.
that parent be participating in that child's life
true.
is something that you really, really need to look out for.
Yes.
The little girl really needs the father.
She
She
really,
really needs that father.
This is the situation with this. See, Patricia Robinson has taken Veronica Robinson's mind.
mine. Took
So
the
in other
daughter's
words,
mind.
she really don't want that connection because she's thinking that
You
I
will
want
come and
her
take.
back, and I would take the kid and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So she just really boiled it all out and just
Right.
run.
Yeah,
run
the
and
reason
hide.
she brainwashed the mother was so that you wouldn't and the mother wouldn't get together and she wouldn't have the check.
Right.
That is so sad when anyone out there abuse a child for the love of money. And even if it wasn't for money, even if the father didn't have money, that child still has the right to know who her father is, to get on the phone and say, hello, daddy. I wouldn't care if he was a crackhead. It's still her daddy.
I mean,
And
it's
just to know who your father is.
I mean, it's never worth it, Josie, to take a kid away from either parent.
Either parent, a mother either. You
I mean,
know,
what is it to gain the whole world, and lose your whole soul? I mean, you're still
Yeah.
a kid, and then it's not
Right.
even your kid, not your blood kid.
Yeah.
And you do all of this
again.
just for the love of money.
Well, in the end, everyone that does that has a judgment day coming through Jesus Christ. And that day is coming. And it's not long. We see the world passing fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. The world is coming to an end now. So if they don't get it together now, they may leave sooner. Okay?
But you know that to speak of this, like the world is coming to the end. I mean, every day, you see it's something different.
Something different
Every time you look around,
Right.
it just all
In
kind of go
California, those
anywhere.
fires,
People going off,
Right.
shootings everywhere.
killings and robbing and hurricanes and earthquakes. So people need to stop abusing kids. Like Barbara, I'm very proud of you because there's a little girl that she has been mentoring, and that little girl actually cried, and I heard it on the phone, when a kid know that it's love, and that little girl actually cried because you was showing this little girl love. So can you imagine the love that a father would show? If
Right.
Barbara can show it, and that little girl knew the love from Barbara, who's not her biological, what would she feel about her father?
Right, right.
And I'm very proud of you for that, because kids need love, and especially a little girl with her father. She needs the love of her father. And that is not nice for these people, whoever they are, this Patricia Robinson and this Veronica Robinson out in Moreno Valley, California. That is horrific for you to abuse a child and to keep a child away from a loving father right here that loves his daughter. He didn't run away, and he's not going to run away. He can't, because she is his blood, not that adopted grandmother.
You know
It's
what
sad.
I was thinking? It would be nice, to see this show get picked up and discussed and talked
Right.
about, like
Yeah.
on an Oprah show or
Right.
something like that. Because it will be helping kids and families.
On Ellen.
And
Ellen,
trying
if you
to
seeing this,
show the world that this dysfunctional thing, with these
right.
parents abusing the other parent and keeping the kids away from the other parent.
Yes.
Something really needs to be done about that, because it's not really helping the kids at all.
At all.
And listening to what Barbara said about
Yes.
how the affect
Right.
their functions,
Right,
the kids
right.
don't perform well in school,
Right.
and their
Right.
behavior, the way they act.
But the good thing is that you're a father that wants it. There are a lot of fathers out here, they're going and they're just selling sperm for money too. You see, and they have kids running around that's not even concerned about them at all, like he is about his daughter. Now, isn't that something? When you find someone that wants to be a part, just like you wanted to be a part to help this young girl. You see what I'm saying?
That's correct.
But they think they went to the bank with me, though.
No, they thought they did, but they didn't go to the bank with God. So it doesn't matter what people think they're getting by with, because in the end, it all comes to an end.
And
And it will.
there's stories about how the parent is separated from the child from birth all the way up, but something happens
Yeah,
where that parent and that child somehow
connect.
connects and
Right.
get together.
Mhm.
It's something that happens that
Mhm.
bring them together.
Yes.
And I believe there's a force. There's a
It is a
force
force.
that bring that child and that parent together.
Yes.
And no one can stop it. It's gonna happen.
Right.
And whatever God has
It's genetic.
control over, which is to share with that child, that natural parent, because
Uh-huh.
that child has to have some kind of parental guidance in their lives.
Mhm.
And one day, somehow, they come together.
Yeah.
Like my husband, he had been separated from his father
Oh, I remember that.
as a little boy.
Yeah, tell that story.
And-
Yeah, they found. No, he found him. Tell us.
Yes, he was separated from his father. His mother was angry with the father because he, of course, the father may have made her angry, but she took advantage of the situation
Same
and kept the
scenario.
little boy,
See?
which is my husband, out
See?
of the father's
You
life.
see?
Well, one day I was at work and something just kept telling me to try to find this father. So I went to a research data bank on the phone while I was working. I had time at the reception desk
Right.
to kind of just get on the phone and
Uh-huh.
inquire. Well, I knew his name.
Right.
His name was Middlebrook, and my
Uh-huh.
husband's name is Middlebrook.
Right.
The mother did name the child after the daddy.
Uh-huh.
So I
Right.
make a long story short. I contacted. Some happened where I was trying to go out of town, and there the flight agent clerk came on the phone, and she noticed that I was booking under Middlebrook, and she said, "Well, how did you become a Middlebrook?" And I said, "I married into a Middlebrook," and
Something
she said,
else.
"Well, how did you be, as being coming to Middlebrook?" She said, "I'm a Middlebrook." I said, "Are you kidding?"
Wow.
The flight agent.
Is that how that connected?
That's
you
how
with
they connected.
You see that?
And
Certain things
it
can
ended
happen.
up being that I was able to put Curtis and his
With his
father
father.
together, and this
Just
was
like that.
it really just was an osmosis thing. It was meant to be.
Yeah, and
So
that's how it
Curtis,
happened.
I believe that one day something will happen
Right.
that you will be able to connect with this daughter regardless to what has happened.
Right.
And
That's
how
true.
it's happened.
It's going to,
She's going to come to you and you all will get
Yeah,
together.
because it's the
She might
universe.
just up and call me one day.
Right.
Right,
Yeah, because
right.
the universe has control.
Right, right. It's-
These people have no control.
right.
The
right.
universe is
Right.
going to make
so
that all
this
possible.
situation is very relevant to what could possibly happen to you. So I
Yeah.
encourage you,
Yeah, and I
don't
remember
give
that.
up. And it
Right.
happened, and now
Right.
he got a chance to meet his father.
Sure did. I
For the
remember that.
first
Yeah, he
time.
met his daddy
So
for
how
the
old
first
was he when
time.
he first met his father?
He met his father when he was about 25 years old because
Wow.
we married when I was 21.
Wow.
And we would go to Tennessee and we would visit his mother, but his mother never would talk about the daddy. So it was just coincidental that I was on the phone that
Wow. See, that's how things
day.
happen.
And his cousin was my flight attendant agent. She
See
was
that?
booking my flight.
The cousin.
Yeah.
So she said, "I'm a Middlebrook." I
Big
said,
as
"Are
this
you
world
kidding?"
is, that's how God does it.
Out of the millions of people, it so
Wow.
happened that we connected. And
Wow.
I told her my husband is a Middlebrook, and she said, "We're from Tennessee." She said, "Well, our Middlebrooks are from Tennessee too."
Well, it's a simpler thing happened to Curtis, which is how you were able to see your daughter, on a video. You
Right.
just happened to see it through someone else that knew her.
Right.
And that was like 11 years, it was like a couple of years ago, and he just happened to see it on a video, just
Right.
similar to what you're saying.
Right.
Which is,
I know what I'm gonna say
wow.
to the world, Barbara. Express your feeling, what you think should happen, say, with this alienation stuff, and what could be a positive note so that kids can grow up and have both parents, if only the other parent will let that parent be in the other kid's life, even if they're just talking to that parent or send them a card or just
So you're,
what would be a positive note that you could say to the audience, that's uplifting? Because there's kids
to
out
the
here
child
watching
and other
okay,
kids that may be in
I'm
the same
lost in this
situation.
world and nobody's listening to me. Nobody is giving me a chance. Nobody is letting me pick up that phone. What would you say
To the child
to the
itself.
child? How would that child be able to respond and deal with, since you deal with kids, what would
she say to the child, you're saying,
Right.
that's going
That
through
child,
the situation?
That child just try to keep a positive head or try to find a way to deal with it or some type of counseling
Yeah,
when they're going through
being
this kind of
abused
stuff.
by
Abused.
that adopted grandma.
I think encouraging the child, and letting the child know that that they're loved.
Like you're doing.
Because love is the key.
Yes.
Love can change any situation. and let the child know that even though the father is not in their lives, but he still
I'm here.
desires to be in their lives, and to give them that motivation that they need in order to carry on and continue to move forward.
Right.
See, for instance, on that note, see, Patricia Robinson, she don't really encourage my daughter at all, nothing about her father. So
No, of
this is the
course not. She wants to
downfall in my daughter's life, is that she don't have that
No one to
uplift because they taking all that away from her.
Well, she has it because you're making videos such as this one, and you have always told her happy birthday, I love you. Thank God for social media because she...
Hello, Alexa, Daddy loves you.
Yeah, so therefore she knows that her dad loves her because you've been making them for years. You never gave up. The only thing, they have brainwashed her to make her afraid to pick up the phone.
Right.
One day she's going to pick up the phone, or one day something may happen to them, as it did with someone else you know, that kept that baby away. And those people end up having accidents, losing their legs, they're getting sick. You know, something is going to happen where you may have to go and take care of that child.
And what's
You
the,
never know.
check this out, dude. What's the benefit on that end to destroy a little girl's life and just tell her a whole bunch of lies, and then to see her suffer right there in that home?
Wow.
Is that love? Is
No,
that love
no,
at
that-
all? To see that kid suffering
No, that's
in
a
that home,
narcissist. No.
and that kid is suffering. I don't care what you say. I see where it went one point where my daughter even said it. Well, I see it where it's no empathy, it's no love
Yeah,
in
the
this
video.
home.
Yeah,
They
found the
just
video
totally
and she was
just
talking, yeah.
they gone into their own world. It's like no reasoning at all about life reality.
Yeah, that's mental abuse. Anybody that
I mean, this kid is feeling this.
Wow. And what I'm saying, the reason it's abuse, because you was there from day one. You was there when the mother was pregnant. You guys were together. It wasn't like you was some man that just made a baby and ran away. This was a girl that they were scheming on him the whole time. And then when the baby came, they snatched the baby and ran. And you had to fight to put that baby in his last name because that adopted mother wanted to put it in her dead husband's name for more money. So how cruel can you be? You know, I heard it was a lot of cruel people out there. And my mother used to tell us, be careful in the people you link up with. Because there are some sick people, there's a lot of devils out there. Mm-hmm. But one thing about it, they can't win God. And that's the good thing about it. So your daughter Alexa will be contacting you one day. And we're going to claim that right now on this TV show in the name of Jesus. Alexa Henderson will be contacting her dad.
In the name of Jesus, Alexa, you're going to call your daddy.
Don't
claim it in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, don't let these people brainwash you and keep you from your blood father, because a man is needed, especially now that she's 12 years old. I mean, that's the time you really, really need your father, because it's some crazy guys out here. And that young lady needs her dad. So with that, I'm very proud to say that, Barbara, you said a lot of positive notes. You hit a lot of key notes about how people shouldn't do this to children. And charity starts at home. This is why when Barbara goes to school, she can tell the kids that have their horns up or their arms out like an angel.
So it is a difference when the kids go to school.
Yes.
You can see that
That's what she
something
said.
really bothering this.
Yes,
kid.
she said they acted out. You can
It's
tell.
a difference.
It's a big difference. Yeah, like Barbara was saying, even in their paperwork, she has to grade papers, right, Barbara? And you can tell the ones that was thinking, happy, and the ones that just didn't care. Some of them probably just get F's all the way through because their minds are not well-rounded with their parents, or something's going on in the home. Like she was saying, it could be in the home or it can be like in your situation. You know, you got it both ways.
Right, but you know, it's important to stay positive throughout the situation, because anything negative that happens is not going to change the situation. You've got to continue to be spreading the love and telling even the grandmother or the mother that you need to go ahead and do what is right. If you do the right thing, then good results will come out, and that child will love that grandmother and that mother better when they come forth with the truth.
Than holding that hate in.
The truth will set you free.
Yes, the truth will set you free.
Amen to that.
Amen. And the good thing is that social media has allowed you to still be her father.
Right.
Because without social media, she would never even know she had one. But now she's seen it through it's a connection that for years he didn't know, about 11 years, and then he just happened to see, like you said, a fluke.
Right.
Someone said, I know her.
Yes.
And then he
It
was
can-
able to hear her voice for the
It can
first
happen.
time.
It can happen.
It did happen, and thank God it
I
happened.
mean, they hid that away from her.
Yeah,
I mean,
she didn't know.
all these years.
She probably didn't even know he exists. They may have told her he was dead. And he happened to, by working social media, God, thank you for social media. So if anybody's watching this show, Ellen, Oprah, or anybody watching this show about parental alienation, give us a call, and we'll be right here waiting for you.
And I got some final results to say, talk about world, this alienation thing. I mean, this should be considered as a crime, especially when a parent is destroying and abusing another kid's mind and keeping that kid away from the father or the mother. This kid is dying inside.
Yes.
World, wake up today. I'm serious. Wake up. This world need to wake up. The kids are our future.
Right.
Without our kids,
That's true.
I mean, they'll make better grades and grow up to be better people.
Right.
But if
Right.
you got grandparent, the other parent destroying all that, taking all that away,
Yeah.
they are destroying our future because the kids are our future.
That's true.
Anything you got to say
And
about
it
that?
doesn't matter if it's it doesn't matter even if it's a blood parent or or an adopted, because you got some blood people doing this stuff too, which is sad. But
Well,
it's
what
worse
Barbara
when there's no
got-
blood.
What Barbara got to say?
So Barbara, what you got to say before we wrap this show up? Continue to talk.
As an educator, I would say is to the teachers should rally around.
I know what I want to say before you. Just like you say, you're a teacher, okay? Now, don't you think as a teacher, when they see this kid being abused, she should be able to come forth to that kid and say, "I noticed something is going on with you.
Right.
Let's have a
That's what she
talk
was saying.
and let's see if we can get you some type of counseling."
Right.
That's what you tapped on earlier, I
Right.
think.
I think that it's important that the teachers rally around those children who are going through these types of emotions.
Right.
And also referring them to counselors, sticking by their side, building up a bond and a trust.
Right.
Because if a child can come to you and trust that you will keep anything that he or she tells you,
Right.
and that you will be there to support that child, it's important that they get the help that they need.
Right.
And the help will be rallied around the other school teachers where everybody is doing the same thing
Right.
to that child,
Right.
giving that child encouragement, motivation, support, and most of all, that trust.
Right.
That
Right.
trust. If
The
they can trust and they then can share what their true feelings are, and understanding their true feelings can help bring recovery into their lives, whether the parent is there or not. That child can move forward, and that's the idea, moving that child forward even with the circumstances and the situation at hand.
Right.
Now,
So
now,
what
now,
about
now,
CPS?
check this out. I want to let you handle that on the end. Check this out, Joe. Now listen at this world. All teachers, when you got kids, just be observant to all the kids. I mean, because a lot of kids, they're not going to speak up and they're not going to say what's really bothering them.
That's true.
Okay, so why not the teachers just have an open mind
Right.
and just kind of pay attention to what's going on and pick this up on their own and say, "Hey, young lady,
Right.
I need to talk to you. Is something bothering you?
Right.
I mean, is everything going okay in home?
Right.
Do you have something you want to talk about?
Right.
Maybe we can get you some counseling."
Right.
I think if teachers would step up
Right.
and recognize what's going on with these kids who's in this abusive and dysfunctional home,
Yes.
I mean,
because
you got to
you're right.
sometimes step outside
You're
the box.
right, because a lot of kids are afraid to speak out. So that's when the reading and the vibes and the feeling of their child, like you said, you can tell, comes to play. Because kids hold stuff in sometimes, or they're afraid because that adopted parent and that mother probably said, "You better not show it."
Right.
You know, you never know what these people are telling this kid inside. So she's
They
very
tell
afraid.
her, you know, they create
Yes.
all this in her
You
mind.
better not go to school. You better not. And this is when CPS comes into play. So CPS needs to investigate stuff like this.
But if they running and hiding, I mean, they at this location 1 minute, CPS catch up with them. They like road runner. They take off to another location, Then
Right.
when they think CPS is on to them,
Then
they
they-
like road run again.
Right.
They gone again.
Well, they need to, with these videos out here, if any teacher see these videos, you should take this very serious because this is reality. It's not a reality show, but it is a TV talk show, and this is real.
Well, I
So-
feel like it's a reality talk show. And
Okay.
It's gonna
But
be
it's
on
real.
nationwide television, baby.
Okay. But the thing of it is, what I'm saying, if any teachers see this, they can reach out to the schools in Moreno Valley. You don't know if they're homeschooling her or not. If they're homeschooling her, then CPS can get a hold to this, and they've seen many of your videos. They can link it in. CPS, teachers, preachers, or anyone that see this, that knows that family, that Veronica Robinson and that Patty Robinson, who has this little girl, alienated her from her father, who wants to be a part of her life,
Check this
they should
out.
speak out.
It's millions of people online talking about this
Alienation.
Parental,
This stuff is serious.
Parental alienation
Of a child.
Girl, y'all better take an ear to this stuff because this stuff is killing the kids.
It's bad.
It's destroying the kids. Parental
Yes.
alienation.
Alienation, and that's what it's called.
And let this be an
Wow.
ongoing talk show. People step outside of the box
Yes.
and talk about this parental alienation because it's killing the kids.
It's killing
I'm sorry
the
to keep
kids.
saying it like
So
that.
what you need to do is subscribe, click like, and share.
Click the like button.
That's very important because this is talking about fathers who wants to be a part of their children's lives. We're not talking about fathers that don't want to be a part of their lives. We're not talking about fathers that we don't know where they are.
And
We're
then
talking
vice
about fathers
versa,
that wants
if
to be
mothers
right
is
now.
going through this kind of stuff and fathers keeping the mothers away, same thing.
Situation. It's not a one-way street here.
Stop the abuse
Of these children.
Parental alienation. Parental alienation is what? Evil.
And it's abuse to the child. I mean, how cruel can any adult be to abuse a child, to just take away that child's blood? That's horrible because that child is dying inside. Every child wants to know who their parents are. Every child. Because first of all, the child didn't ask to be here.
Okay, like I was looking at this. Like some kids, they grow up now. They turn 18 and 20.
Okay.
They so mental abused now.
Uh-huh.
Now they finally meet their blood parent.
Right.
But guess what? They don't have any respect.
Right.
I mean, they talk any kind of way to the parent.
It's
I don't have nothing to do with you. Ain't got nothing to say with you. You didn't raise me. My mother said this about
That's
you.
true.
My
That's true.
grandparents said that about. I hate you. I don't have nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now this kid is showing that they have been totally destroyed.
Right.
They don't have no respect how they talk to you. F you, this, that. They just don't care.
They-
They say, well, baby, I didn't do nothing to you. I always wanted to be there. You got your child support money every month. Daddy did what he could, and they just ran and hide with everything. Now they grow up, and they hate you.
Well, they don't care because they didn't know any better, and that's why, again, social media is very important because now they have the opportunity to look at videos, to look at this show, to know that it's not what you thought it was, and they can see it live right here in living color. And that's why we did this show. For kids that normally would do that, kids that would think like that, shows are letting you know that it's always two sides to every story.
There's always two sides.
And don't forget that. So all kids, we just love all of you kids out there. And basically today, that's what our show was all about. It was about parental alienation. So with that, we're going to end our show. And please click like, share, and subscribe right now. And we thank you for watching our show.
Lexa, Daddy loves you.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Great show, great
Hey,
show.
Barbara. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Thank you for letting us share.
Happy
Yes.
holidays. We appreciate it. What's that? What's that?
Oh, okay. We're going to put Santa in there.
Yeah. Put Santa
Merry
here.
Christmas. Hey.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
thank you
Santa
for
Claus,
watching.
bring my baby home for Christmas. Bring my baby home for Christmas.
Your baby's at home, she just don't know it. Because your baby is you and you are her. And that can never leave. All the way as long as you live and as long as she's living. She's
Yeah.
still your blood.
Y'all see me out here. Y'all remember that song? It just put me in a good spirit. Please, please, please come home for Christmas. Please, please. I had to put something in there. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's such a serious topic, but humor is always keeps your heart happy,
That's
no
right.
matter what. As Barbara was saying, stay happy and stay positive.
Yeah, I had to put something in there because it's always good to laugh. You can't always be on a serious note.
That's true.
You know.
Yes.
I mean, you take that negative energy and turn
That's
it into
it.
positive energy.
That's correct.
And maybe at the end of this video, somebody gonna be cracking up laughing. Alexa probably gonna look at Dad and say, "Daddy did this thing on never. Please come home for Christmas."
Merry Christmas. So
Merry
Ellen,
Christmas,
Oprah,
everybody.
anybody see this show? Give us a call and we can tell you more about it.
What's my slogan? It is Curdy Cool.
No, it's not Curdy Cool.
Is it Golden Boys?
No, it's not Golden.
No. What's my slogan?
Tell me.
Okay, bye. That's a wrap.